Forward momentum. Chasing the rains. Fleeing from predators. Or battling the terrain. A never-ending journey to track the shifting promise of fresh grass. Wildebeest on the migration live life in fast forward. It's an epic spectacle. Vast distances and uncountable numbers. But the big picture is deceptive. The real drama unfolds close up. This is Neo's first trip, so now it's personal. Neo with 1,000 miles to cover, facing enemies intent on killing him. Crossing treacherous waters. Neo is the one in a million who will either live or die to fulfill his destiny. The wildebeest migration in East Africa has no real beginning or end. It's not a set route, but a relentless nomadic wandering around an area roughly the size of Denmark. The impetus to move is food and water. And because rainfall is erratic, the movement pattern echoes this. Thirst steers them across many rivers. And during the dry winter, the herds head north, close to the Mara River, their only permanent water when the rains stop. But right now, it's the rainy season, and the herds spread across the southern grass plains of the Serengeti. Today is Neo's birthday. He's not fully out, but the clock starts. Neo and Mum will never be more vulnerable than in these precious first minutes. Survival as a newborn depends on Neo hitting developmental milestones. A strong neck is a promising start. With Mum's encouragement, Neo finds his feet. Briefly. Now his goal is coordination. Mum greets her baby son. As she cleans him, she learns his unique scent, as he learns hers. Smell is how they will recognize each other if they ever get separated. And Neo's survival right now depends on them sticking together. It's a race to stand, but this vital imprinting will save Neo's life more than once. Everything he needs to know about being a wildebeest, he'll learn from Mum. She's his cheerleader, his defender, and his guide. Only 3 minutes old, and he's up. Through determination and the evolutionary wizardry that makes wildebeest offspring the most precocious of any antelope. A newborn that walks, with robust lungs and legs that have the same bone-to-muscle ratio as an adult. And now that he's vertical, his instinct is to nurse. But the herd is leaving, and it's more important to keep up. Mum has a final target for her newborn: to run. Life as a wildebeest has started. Neo is born on the short green grass in the south, but he was conceived 8 months earlier, many kilometers away. A place much more dry and loud. The air vibrates. It's the time of the rut, and from horizon to horizon, territorial bulls recruit females onto their turf to graze, and ultimately to mate. It's easy to spot the males. They exhibit a frantic urgency and call non-stop. Yet very little of this activity involves the actual mating. It's more about chasing and herding females and fighting off competing males. The humming chorus of excited bulls works its magic. Because it's this sound that stimulates the cows and brings them into estrus simultaneously. The annual rut is the biggest mass mating event on the planet. Along with Neo's mum, 500,000 females conceive in this 3-week peak. Though by comparison, the females seem quite disinterested in the whole affair. It's the males who do all the work. They remain vigilant to fight off intruders bent on stealing their prized possessions. Bulls are so pumped up with hormones during the rut, some give up resting and sleeping completely. A bull smells when a cow is in heat, and a moist nose improves his ability to sort through different odors. He also curls his lip back in the phlegm position to suck air onto a specialist scent organ that detects sex pheromones. Despite the energetic preamble, the mount is quite low-key and short. Probably because it's often done on the move. When the females don't stop, or even slow down, the poor males just have to do their best. The males may have the enthusiasm, but the females hold the power. So success depends entirely on the willingness of the females to be detained. This guy has a bit of work to do on his vocals. Their melodious mating ritual clearly works. Evidence of its success is overwhelming. 8 months later, like clockwork, along with Neo, 250,000 new tan-colored flanks pepper the plains. Mums synchronize their births to coincide with the rains and the green flush of fresh grass in the south, the most nutritious grazing on their entire journey. Perfect to provide rich milk for growing calves. At 1 week old, even the calves experiment with the lush carpet of greens. With their blunt muzzles, flexible lips, and wide rows of incisors, wildebeests are designed to crop these short, mat-forming grasses. There's plenty for everyone, because while the rain falls, there's constant new growth to compensate for heavy grazing. Neo's only a day old, and Mum keeps him close. As a newborn, his instinct to follow is strong, but indiscriminate. So Neo is drawn to any large moving object. While he's so tiny, Mum must ensure that she's the first thing Neo sees. It's one of the wildebeest wonders that most of the calves are born within a 3-week period. That's 500 newborns a day. It's a clever anti-predator strategy because the baby boom keeps most of them safe. It's difficult for a predator to pick a single target among the thousands. Difficult, but not impossible. Alone, a calf has no chance against a cheetah. Straying from Mum and the herd is a death sentence. A harsh but vital lesson for Neo. Another first for Neo. Rain. Thunderstorms are an almost daily occurrence through the wet season, but they're deeply significant for the wildebeest as the aerial beacons that trigger the entire migration. It's a strange sensation getting wet, but the drops taste nice enough. Neo watches Mum for her reaction. She's even more eager to graze. The short grasses in the south are special. New growth explodes after every shower. And it's this fresh flush, rich in protein, which the wildebeest crave and why they chase every new rainstorm. The wildebeest themselves play a vital part in this grass bonanza. Their heavy grazing further stimulates growth, and with their trampling and depositing manure, they actively create and maintain their habitat. But rain is the critical cog in this food factory. Without water, shallow roots expose the southern grass's fickle nature. Green blades wither to dry husks almost overnight, devoid of nutrients, prompting the mass exodus away from the plains. Only rain keeps the grass green. While the living is easy, the herds make the most of it, even grazing through the night to bulk up. Neo's too tiny for grass, but the perfect fit for his umbrella. When Neo is 5 days old, he takes his first journey to the marsh. The rains keep these ephemeral pools brimming with fresh water. Adjacent to the plains, it's a convenient watering hole for the thirsty hordes. Neo's led to a shallow pan where it's safe for the calves to drink. Wide open and easy for mums to spot oncoming danger. The adults navigate the deeper water. All wildebeest have to drink every 2 days. So this vital water, right next to their food, limits the distances the herds have to cover when the calves are so young. 5 days has made a big difference to Neo. He brims with confidence and curiosity. With typical youthful energy, he's desperate to stretch his legs. It's time to claim his newfound independence. As long as it's okay with Mum. With thousands of thirsty mouths to accommodate, as one group of wildebeest moves off, another pours in to take its place. There's an enemy in their midst. Hidden in the tall grass, the lioness settles right next to the herd. When she's still, she's invisible. She wants an easy target. An adult wildebeest is much heavier than she is, with horns that can pierce and even kill her. A calf is best, but difficult to spot tucked next to their mums. Panic scatters the herd. As one, the mothers gallop the calves back to the plains. The lioness seems uninterested in her kill. Another opportunity. It's Neo. He didn't leave with a rest, and he's too young to know he's in danger. Irresistible to the lioness. But Neo's not alone. And that changes everything. Mum will face this enemy for both of them. The route home takes them right past the lioness. But now Neo's prepared. With Mum's guidance, he knows the lioness means danger. And when Mum runs, he runs. When wildebeest calves stand next to their mothers, it's easy to see why these bearded ladies of the savannah are so valuable. Calves disappear. They're undetectable to predators. This subtle vanishing act is why it's crucial that calves learn to shadow their mothers. Wildebeest youngsters aren't hidden away like other antelope babies, and their precociousness makes them conspicuous. But behind their hairy veils, mothers keep their offspring safe. Neo and Mum practice following skills. He's improved a lot, keeps a steady pace and distance at her side, and even stops in sync. The ambush comes out of nowhere. 2 cheetahs. But Mom is on the attack, and immediately in pursuit when the first cheetah keeps chasing Neo. For a second time, it looks as if it's all over. But 150 kilograms of maternal fury is the game changer. Mum's not letting her son die today. And now Neo knows what to do. Run and rejoin the herd. Another week, another milestone. Neo is old enough to join the other calves in the creche, which loosely forms in the center of the herd. It's a sign he's growing up, socializing with youngsters of his own age and experiencing the security within a group. The youngsters play together, surrounded by capable minders. The mock challenges and games of tag indicate a healthy independence from their mothers. Mum's grateful for the extra freedom too. Relieved of babysitting duty, she's free to graze a little distance away. But no one notices when Neo bounces right out of the circle on his own mission. It's business as usual at the creche. Neo can't place those ears, and short grass hides a lot if you're not tall. The hyena junior is a baby himself, equally curious about the strange smell and shape coming closer. They have no knowledge of each other, so no aggression or fear. Their relationship as predator and prey hasn't been defined yet. It's just another game. Until his mother arrives. Neo remembers his lesson. Run. He's in no immediate danger. A week-old calf can easily outrun a hyena. Junior loses a playmate, but Neo learns to identify another predator enemy. Mum comes the moment she hears Neo call. But the danger is past, and for the first time, he didn't need Mum to rescue him. Childhood doesn't last forever. Eventually, the rain does stop, and the herds begin the journey away from their southern pastures for another year. There's nothing left to sustain them here. Dead grass transforms the plains into a dust bowl, and the marsh pans degenerate to unpalatable soda lakes. Rain is now falling on the long grass further north, and they must follow. But the females anticipated this change, and the months on the plains prepared them and their calves for their trek. Neo is a sturdy 3-month-old. He no longer has the sooty face of a baby calf and sports his darker adult coat and little devil horns. And they're off. Millions tuned into the same restless impulse to move. Now their awkward body shape makes sense. Because it's their heavy-fronted design that allows them to cover such vast distances day after day in their easy loping canter. A bull neck and tall shoulders aren't pretty, but they're key to the wildebeest's perseverance. Even marathon runners have to rest sometime, and after 2 days on the trot, a river is a vital pit stop. There's always high energy at the first river crossing. Water offers relief from the sun, an opportunity to wash off the dust and pesky flies. And most of all, a drink. But a killer lives here. The most terrifying of all wildebeest enemies because of his ability to disappear. The smell of water is irresistible, but experience warns of the risks. No one is prepared to be first. The adults remember crocodile attacks from previous years. Soon, the crush of new arrivals will force a decision at the front of the queue. Neo is so thirsty, he could bundu bash his own path down to the river. But Mum's voice restrains him. From this vantage point, he can safely watch the front runners and learn about his new enemy. Thirst eventually overcomes fear. They remain on high alert. It only takes a quarter of a second for a crocodile to launch right out of the water. They're lucky. This was just a recce. Death is a steep price to pay for a drink of water. Miss. But there's nowhere for the herds to escape to. It's backed up all the way up the bank. There are thousands of wildebeest waiting to drink. Now the leaders are forced into enemy territory by the surge of bodies from behind. Third time, unlucky. They lose a herd member. Mercifully, it's a quick death. But the brutal attack shocks the herd into action. The priority changes. It's the perfect time to cross while the enemy is distracted. They'll return for a drink later. The blood sacrifice is paid for a safe passage. Neo can't wait. It's quite different from the gentle pan he's used to. Waves make it difficult to breathe. Mom wants to cross immediately while the sheer numbers keep them safe. It's a gentle, shallow river, but still almost covers Neo. Swept along by the energy of his herd mates, Neo's first crossing is a success. Although separate groups of wildebeest reach the rivers at different times, they use very specific crossing points, which is why there's excessive bottlenecking. They choose a narrow section and cross as fast as possible to limit the time they're exposed in the water. A tight formation has the same benefit in the water, to make it difficult for a predator to separate one from the bunch. It lasts the morning, but Mum and Neo's herd crosses without further incident. Over the next few weeks, the movement pattern repeats itself as wave after wave of wildebeest push ever northwards. River crossings follow time drinking and grazing on the long grass plains. The yellow patches may look unappetizing, but deep roots make these grasses drought-resistant and reliable through the dry season. They've done well. Neo and Mom are only 2 days away from their winter pastures, and their ranks have swollen. Herds converge in their thousands for one final hurdle, the Mara River. Now 5 months old, Neo has the chunky, muscular body of a young adult. He's going to need it for his upcoming swim. And where the herds gather, predators wait. The lioness follows in plain sight. She wants the wildebeest to see her. She's at a massive disadvantage. The hordes are retreating. It's way too late for an ambush attack. This calls for something less subtle. A stampede. There's always profit to be made from panic. One cow bolts away from the herd. A fatal mistake. The rest of the herd rallies. They can't help the cow, but if they stick together, they limit the damage. In an emergency, the compulsion to herd is one of the wildebeest's greatest strengths. But accidents happen. Life changes in an instant, and without warning, there's a crisis. Neo is in pain. It's difficult to move. His leg twisted badly when he sprinted away from the lion. A wildebeest with a limp is a broken thing. Neo can barely walk, let alone run. Mom has an impossible choice: stay with Neo or catch up to the herd. Neo's injury turns them both into targets. But if she abandons him now, she's condemning him to death. Her best option is to keep moving them closer to the others. But every moment they slip farther behind. If Neo can rest and heal, he may have a chance. But it means spending the night alone. Her encouragement spurs him, but he's finished. She makes her decision. Now her son comes first. By morning, 10 kilometers ahead of Mum and Neo, the first of millions arrive at the Mara River. It takes days for everyone to cross. The Mara is a unique challenge. Deep water and steep banks distinguish it from every other crossing, so the herds gather to build their numbers and confidence. They get a running start at the shallow end, but the sandbank drops off sharply and they hit the deep end. When they lose their footing, they lose their speed. Forced to swim for the opposite bank, the wildebeest are sitting ducks. These river monsters don't have to hide. They can target anyone. Water is their realm. But there's another challenge. A rip current drags the swimmers off course, tripling their time in the water and offering the worst possible exits. Panic drives them forward without thought. And the hordes keep on coming. Cannon fodder for the enemy. The wildebeest's hardwired tenacity is both a blessing and a curse. Some individuals are crushed and trampled in the chaos, but the same stick-at-itness gets others out of impossible situations. Despite the hardship, most make it across. There's something infectious to overcoming adversity in a team. And Wildebeest epitomize this. Eight kilometers back, far from the mayhem, Neo is making progress. A good night's rest and Mum's slow pace has helped a lot. But someone has noticed their isolation. And the rocking pattern of Neo's limp is a green light to attack. Certainly worth investigating. One hyena isn't a serious threat. It shouldn't interfere with Mum's plan to rejoin the herds in the next few days. Neo can run, but he can't maintain it. Mum makes it clear they don't want company. Back to the mission. Get Neo well and catch up to the herd. It takes 3 days, but Mum and Neo join the final throng of wildebeest waiting to cross the Mara River. They're both frantic with thirst, so Mum initiates the move to the water. But there's a problem. It's too dangerous to drink or cross now, and Mum warns the others. She can only keep Neo safe in a crowd, so she'll wait for reinforcements to mob the crocodile. But Neo's desperate. His mouth burns. So Mum rallies the herd around him to let him drink. With the herd at critical mass, they dive in. But the river is no different today. The current is still furious. Hampered by his weak leg, Neo battles to keep up. It's a cruel irony that such a narrow crossing is such an epic struggle. Programmed to follow like sheep, today's herds face exactly the same pitfalls. Exits are jammed in the panic to leave the water. With nowhere to go, wildebeest clamber over each other, injuring comrades that block the way. Still they press on, driven by a stubbornness that's unrelenting. Spindly legs that look ready to snap carry most safely to the grass. 5 meters from shore, Neo loses his battle against the current. But Mom doesn't give up on him. With no thought of her own safety, she turns against the herd. Swims back across the river to find her son. Crushed in the frenzy downstream, it doesn't look good for Neo. Mum's bravery goes unnoticed. All around her, individuals are wrapped up in their own survival. It's her final act as a mother. In the great scheme of things, it's just one more death, a mere statistic. But a precious bond of mother and son is broken forever. And life goes on, driving forward the only way they know. Finally, the tail enders see the back of the river. There's no mourning for the dead. A few lives are sacrificed for the many. It's a survival strategy that's worked for millennia. This year's carcasses are abandoned at the river. But one heart still beats here. And perseverance is in Neo's very DNA. Water washes away more than dust and grime. It's a new start, and his focus is to find Mum. He can't see her in the pile, and he doesn't pick up a scent. A wet nose won't change things. He will never smell her again. He has to rely on the strength within. Mum's lessons kept him out of danger and taught him to keep moving. She did her job well. Her determination and feistiness shine through her son. He knows what to do. Find the herd. He won't let her down. And so, when Neo rejoins the herd, it's not the end. Like the migration, his story and his journey continues. He can't predict his fate, but he can meet it at a gallop.